our special guest for the night, the director of ZombieCon Volume 1, Kyle. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be a blast.
All right. So you were telling me beforehand you plan to hang out with us the whole time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. That is exciting. So let's get right into talking a little bit about ZombieCon Volume 1. I watched it today. It is a blast of a film. It was
Thank
so
you.
much fun. So I want to know a little bit about what was your inspiration for that film, both tonally and story-wise, because it is very unique.
Tonally, I was trying to basically, I'm a huge anime fan. I always have been. And I wanted to basically do my version of a live action film with anime elements kind of meshed into it as much as possible. So I can draw a little bit. It's not very good. But this is kind of, me drawing an anime with the camera and live people. In regards to like the story in actuality and like the characters and the mashup between cosplays and zombies, that was kind of born out of a lot of things in my real life and stuff I kind of grew up loving, genres and fandoms, and kind of feeling a little bit like an outcast because of the love of those things. And the cosplay element specifically came into the kind of world of the movie because I went to my brother's house and he's a huge like movie prop collector. His house is like a museum, kind of like a couple of the screens I'm seeing back here with just like a ton of stuff. And we were talking about doing a feature film. We landed on zombies pretty quickly. And I was sitting there having a few drinks and I was like looking at a Captain America shield on a wall. And I was like, wow, that would be a fantastic thing for zombie self defense and to kind of like beat a zombie up with. And then I'm like seeing other stuff in the house and like predator masks and all kinds of swords. And that was kind of the genesis of the whole cosplay angle and just trying to work that stuff into the film itself.
I love that. That is awesome. I liked the blend because I am also you can't really see behind me. I have a Batman poster and a Spider-Man poster and then also horror movies. Like I love it all. So the blend of that kind of cosplay Comic-Con nature of it and then having that zombie horror element in it was a ton of fun. I haven't had that much fun with a zombie movie since Zombie Land. So I
Well,
really
that
enjoyed
means a lot. Thank you very
it.
much. Awesome.
Really enjoyed it. So do you have, if you could, it's kind of, you're an artist putting a piece of art out there, but do you have a scene that was your favorite to film?
I'm pretty sure I probably answered this differently along the way, but if I'm, on the spot right now, uh, it would probably be the tunnel sequence, with the red lighting, just
Mm,
because I got to use something called clean dirt, effects dirt, which is like special kind of stuff that, it's supposed to be like free of allergens. I guess they clean the dirt some way, but the whole point of it is when you step in it, it pops up into the air and kind of hangs and gives you a little bit of atmosphere. Uh, and I got to play with that for the first time on that scene, and I spread it across the entire floor. Ended up using the entire jug, which was entirely too much. If you ever use that, like, a little bit goes a really, really long way. um, and then, of course, we had, our three zombies. It was one of like the most aggressive fight scenes that we had with the actors kind of stuck in this very contained space. And it was a challenge to shoot. We had a bunch of like, we didn't have a bunch. We had a really low budget. We had 60 grand. So, we had a few like breakable bottles and, uh, yeah, we had one actor supposed to hit a zombie with it. And every time he picked it up off the floor, it would just shatter in his hand. So, you know,
oh, no.
grab it with gusto, just not so much, strength. But a lot of stuff like that. And that was a really fun time.
Awesome. Anyone else on the panel, you can jump in with your questions. So I heard someone start. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go for
no,
it.
not real a question. I just like the intro of the zombie, of the relationship between one of the characters, the pizza boy,
Oh, yeah.
and
The
one of the
delivery
girls.
guy.
Yeah. So that was pretty hilarious. And there's that anime elements as you were talking about as well. So and then yeah, I just had a fun time as well. So yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. The pizza delivery guy was actually, uh, like that whole fight scene was we kind of had to choreograph it in the moment. Obviously, we didn't have any kind of stunt supervisors, or we didn't have any kind of doubles or anything. So all the actors are doing all of their own stunts, and we were using the couch cushions as kind of drop pads for the actors throughout that scene. So anytime you see someone get kind of thrown to the floor, there's usually one of the cushions from that red couch is the thing on the floor that they're landing on top of. Which, then as soon as we get done with that setup, it's like, okay, put the couch back together. It's kind of an important piece of this scene.
It's movie magic, man. That's how it's made. I'm curious, how long did that apartment scene take?
That particular scene, like
Yeah,
with
to
zombie?
shoot. Yeah.
It's pretty wild, man. So yeah.
Well, there's a pretty extended part. Yeah, I would say with the zombie when it first gets there, how long did it take to switch the setup of that room and different takes and all that? Because that was pretty awesome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, that was actually mine and my wife's apartment. So we had that for the longest period of time. We did a lot of reshoots in there, but for all of principal photography, in terms of like, we call it pizza time, which would be the chapter heading if we, had our druthers with breaking it up for the DVD and like the iTunes and stuff, which we didn't. But that would be like when we wake up with them after the alleyway until the end of that fight sequence. Was probably shot over 2.5 days. All the
Wow.
dialogue kind of being one day, the fight sequence being the better portion of a day. And I think the morning that we were doing the actual zombie fight scene in that sequence, we shot Erin's coverage or Claire's coverage in her bedroom, like at 6 a.m. And then we rolled into the fight sequence later that day. So yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty tight on all fronts. And we were kind of shooting in like the Chinese method where you're moving in parallel to the story because we didn't have time or budget to reset anything. So once the blood starts spraying, it's going to stay there and it did for the duration of the shoot and then longer. I think we left the blood on the floor for, we've talked back and forth about this, but it was definitely months and it had dried to the point where it was ostensibly concrete. I don't know if you guys have worked with like fake blood before, but it has a noxious odor. It dries like cement and the smell only gets worse.
Oh
So,
no.
yeah. A couple months later, up until years later, we were cleaning up blood. I know when we were selling the apartment, the real estate agent was like, "You got to paint some of these walls and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." It's like we never repainted it, so it had the paint job from like the '70s or whatever. And so, like, okay, I guess white's in, so we'll paint the walls white. And the painter's like, I'm walking around the house, and I pulled open a curtain, and on like the wooden shutters, there was still like a giant blood spray from production from like 9 years previously. And the guy almost had a heart attack.
Oh my.
If you had to guess, how many gallons of blood did you use? Fake blood, I should say.
There's a little bit of real blood probably thrown in there, just
Probably,
accident.
yes.
But I'd say fake blood we went through. I think our makeup artist got about 5 gallons of blood, and we probably went through 4.5 of them. And then with reshoots, as we kept going, you just probably another 3 gallons on top of that, just for like random cut-ins and stuff. We had a few snafus with close-ups where I really wanted a traumatic blood spray and we couldn't get stuff in the moment. For like the park scene, we had a close-up of like the axe cutting into the zombie, which went horribly wrong.
Oh no.
I used a mannequin. It's just a little insert shot. I thought, oh, it would be fine. Got a mannequin, dressed it like the park zombie, lit the room to make it look like it was outside, got a little AstroTurf to put in the background. I was a little bit out of focus. And I wasn't, I'm not like a super big special effects guy. I can do a little bit of it, a little bit of makeup, a little bit of fake blood spray. But Joe Drabresco was the one who did it for the entire film. And I was just kind of doing this on my own. So I'm like, well, we'll just get like a giant gallon bag Ziploc and we'll put it under the shirt. And then when we hit it, it'll explode. And it did explode. It just went through the sleeve of the shirt onto a couch in the other direction. And unfortunately, it wasn't the red couch. It was a bright green couch that we were babysitting for someone.
Oh no.
Like a family heirloom. So yeah, that was like 2 weeks trying to clean that thing up until finally we were just like, I'm so sorry. This is a terrible mistake happened.
Did you
Are
say
they
it was
still
a family
friends?
heirloom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Are
God.
they still friends with you after that?
Yeah, no, they understood. They were, I think at the end they were like, you can just keep it.
It's I'm like, that's another story to add to your family heirloom. Like, oh yeah, here you go.
yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
So I have
Kyle,
I have a
another
quick question.
Right. Go ahead.
So obviously, first I just want to say thank you for you and your team being so open and accessible to all the content creators and so much support. You guys have been so busy just with your giveaways and everything, and that means a lot to us as a horror community. But the question I have for you is, and I like this because you seem to go in a different direction from other horror comedies and zombie movies like Shaun of the Dead or Zombieland, where the normal guys just they gear up and they just are ready to take on the zombies. And the direction you took, I thought added a lot of charm. Where once they were all loaded up and ready to go, you could tell they were kind of not ready and ill prepared for their mission. And like I said, I thought that added a lot of charm. Was that always the plan for your movie?
Yeah. So, well, first, let me throw back the love because we appreciate you guys and the whole horror community so much. And, we started reaching out cold DMs and emails and stuff, and we didn't know what to expect. And you guys have shown us so much love, and it means the absolute world. We obviously put everything we had into this film, and I'm not sure if anyone would have heard about it if it hadn't have been for all of your support. So thank you guys so much. Really can't tell you how much it means to both of us and the whole team, obviously. Um, in regards to the question, so the whole idea, like my concept was to have these people be as close to me or like my friends as possible, like regular people. I didn't want them, like, of course, in my fantasies, right? I know exactly how I'd handle a zombie apocalypse, but I've been in a few traumatic situations, and it's like nothing you think will work ever works out that way, and it just goes completely batshit crazy, and your nerves get the best of you. You get your adrenaline pumping, your hands start shaking, and you start going a little bit nuts. So I wanted to bake in as much reality into this group of four as humanly possible. So that was actually a very specific choice that we had planned from the very beginning to have these guys kind of be, just regular people. They've got these this EVA foam armor, which actually I did a bite test on it. It's surprisingly effective against zombies, especially when covered with plasti dip. It's
Done.
very hard to bite through. And I know like zombies, right, will unlock the full potential of the human jaw. There's no pain or anything. But I really tried to bite through it and I could not bite through it. So I would always count that as a definite go-to for zombie self-defense for any cosplayer. But yeah, so it was just supposed to be as real to life as possible. Even in like the news scenes, like there's stuff that people will never see, but all the little sublines in the news, I was really trying to get as accurate as I possibly could, as if this actually happened in real life, and I wanted the characters to reflect that.
I'm glad you brought up those news scenes. I do like those. Those were great little inserts into the film that added some reality to the expanding world of the story. Those were excellent.
Thank you. I don't know if you noticed the newscaster with the bandaged head who gets killed off screen, but you might be looking at him.
I wondered when I was watching it, I was like, I wonder if the director makes an appearance in the film. So
no, actually, we had to find creative ways to keep getting me in there. Again, limited budget. You can't really, just hire actors out of nowhere. So I'm Fritz the cameraman. It's the only time you kind of see my face. I'm the news guy with the bandaged face, which was our way to get around seeing my face twice. Bunch of the zombies that we kind of VFX'd in, like in this very quick shot where they're running into the tunnels. But yeah, a bunch of stuff that never made. Oh, a couple of the other newscasters. If you watch the news carefully, there are a few cutscenes, like a guy in the snow. That's me with like, I think we had like baby powder or something we were sprinkling on me and stuff like that. So
that's amazing. Aaron, did you have a question for him earlier?
Yeah. Kyle, first off, I love your film. As you know, ZombieCON Volume 1 is just fantastic. So speaking of Volume 1, will there be Volumes 2, 3, 4, and 5?
So yeah, we've actually I've written 2 through 5. I've got the extended universe planned out to Volume 10. It doesn't technically end there. Again, this is an anime centric film. So the story arcs are very much like an anime. We've got a 10-year time skip between volume 1 and volume 2 because it has been 10 years. And while all of our actors have aged beautifully, just wanted to, give it a little bit of space and not be like on top of itself, and also give the world time to breathe. My favorite type of zombie movie, or my favorite like moment in any zombies genre, is kind of after the collapse and seeing what humanity does when they build up, that new shanty city, you know, putting together weird odds and ends and kind of reconstituting technology to the best of their abilities. And that's kind of always been like one of my big go-tos. So I wanted to just jump to that as opposed to, having them trudge through a lot of the zombie territory that we've seen so much of and just kind of fast forward to it. So yeah, but volumes 2 through 5, hopefully we'll start pre-production on volume 2 next year. And yeah, it depends on depends on
Fingers
who
crossed.
finances it. If we have like scenes with thousands of zombies or thousands of zombies creatively added, and I'm a bunch of zombies again.
In the background,
Something.
will we
Yeah,
get to see? Will we get to see the routine of the protagonist that we didn't get to see at the HorrorCon in Volume
we're
2?
we're gonna have to leave that to everyone's imagination. Again, that was
Awesome.
something that even when we were shooting it, all the actors were like, "What? We don't get to shoot our dance scene? Like, what's going on?" I'm like, guys,
All the choreography we've been working on.
we've got 3 hours to get this whole sequence where you guys win the trophy and get out of here, because we only had one day to shoot all of this stuff
Oh
on
wow.
that stage. So time was our worst enemy on the entire film. I mean, the liquor store, we had 3 hours between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the morning of 4th of July, which was a last minute get for a location after
Wow.
getting kicked out of our other location, which was a bar 2 days previously by like a big budget production. They were coming in. They could pay him a ton of money for this, bar location. And the bar owner calls me. He's like, "You guys, you're done. You're out of here. Don't come here in 2 days. I don't want to see your faces." I was like, "My man, we've got a contract." um, you know,
Wow.
I'll, and he's like, "I really don't care. Sue me." I was like, "Yeah, I'll sue you." I get off the phone. And Aaron, do we know lawyers? How do we sue someone? And she's like, "We can't afford lawyers." And I'm like, luckily, I got a call maybe 10 minutes after that from the I guess an AD or a PA on that bigger budgeted thing, which was, we didn't find out what it was, but they had like 30 production trucks. We had a PA go check out exactly what was going on because we were all curious. But the guy calls me up and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry we kicked you out of your location. What can we do to make this right? How much money do you need? Whatever." And again, I looked at her and I'm like, "Well, what do I ask for?" She's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Yo, take 800 bucks." And the guy's like, "Oh, yeah, we could do 800 bucks." Damn it, I should have asked you. So, you live and learn. But anytime a big Hollywood production calls you, go through the litany of reasons why they're costing you money and let them put out the first numbers. I'm a horrible negotiator. My wife always handles that. She's like a champ when it comes to that. I'm like a very much, "Oh, that's the price. Okay, I'll take it."
Yeah. That is awesome. All right, we have a time for about one more question. Who has another one for him? Yeah, Jillian.
Yeah, so obviously a big part of the movie is the main friend group, and I love that it felt like a very believable and realistic friend group. How did you go about making sure all of the actors had that chemistry together?
So I wrote the film with Aaron and Manny around our pre-existing friend group. When I first moved to LA, I met Punky in an acting class. He actually was the first person I did an acting exercise with, and we became super fast friends. We ended up moving into together just to save a ton of money on rent, because single bedroom apartments in Los Angeles are extremely pricey, and 2-bedroom apartments are significantly better. And since then, we were just working together on all kinds of stuff. Met Christian Casillas, who plays Javier, at the same acting kind of workshop, literally like a month later. And we then just started working together for the next couple of years. Manny, who plays Rocket, he started actually when we were kind of further into owning a production company thing, and he started as an intern. And within like a month of him interning, it was obvious that he was like incredibly talented, and we want him to be a part of the team. So we offered him, equity in the company, and he joined the production company as a partner. And so that was and obviously Erin, the only way I could get her is I had to, propose to her, but that worked out fine. 10 years later, all is good. No, I'm kidding. We actually met in a commercial acting workshop, and we started dating like a year after that. And so obviously she was in. And so the chemistry was kind of built in because we had worked together on so many different things. And because I wrote all of the characters with Maddie and Erin, knowing their personality so well and taking kind of what I knew that they would really excel at and putting it, turning it up to 11 Spinal Tap. But then, taking other elements and completely changing them. Really, the only character who is the complete flip of who they are in real life is Manny, who is the nicest person, to the point where like you will think he's an evil mastermind, but no, he is just so nice that he will give you the shirt off his back even if he's like on fire type of person, like the best person I've ever met. And obviously the character of Rocket is like a huge asshole. Well, not a huge asshole, but a quasi asshole. So for him, that was just a great acting exercise, and that was his first role, and I think he absolutely killed it in it. So, but yeah, that's how the friend group came together.
Definitely.
Punky's pretty badass. Is she like that in real life, man? Because she was.
I was going to say she is awesome. She's a standout in the movie.
Yeah,
she is. She's actually, if you can believe it, she's like even cooler in real life. She is like kind of one of those personalities and auras that you hear when people talk about like big time politicians and people when they walk into a room and they turn and face you, you like feel like, oh, there's a spotlight on me. This is awesome. I'm getting all their like. You just feel a glow. It's like that times 10. She just has that way. I guess maybe it's that Louisiana kind of New Orleans, people, vibe thing, and just her energy. It's infectious. She's hilarious. And she's definitely someone that if you get yourself in a spot, she's the one you definitely want her to have your back, because she will definitely go like Punky in the film. And she'll slap the shit out of you if you're messing up. But she'll also beat the crap out of anyone else who's giving you problems. Like, she is a fantastic human being.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And good to hear, because she was a standout watching the film. I have to confess, at a couple points, I was like, no, Rocket's not the leader of this team. Punky is. Punky is the one who rallies everybody and gets them going. And I was like, yeah, Punky is, I'd follow her in the battle.
Yeah, and see, I wanted to, so I think Punky would have been a natural leader choice. But again, I was trying to make it a little bit more kind of quote unquote realistic. Mm-hmm. And Punky's attitude is a little bit like too calm to take responsibility all the time. So she's very much the mentor, right, to Rocket as he's kind of figuring out his journey. But it would have been a very interesting movie if Punky had been the leader. I don't know how much we would have like battened down the hatches in the apartment if it was all up to her. I think they might have just been like, it's up to us to take out all the zombies right now.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. All right. Well,
Tim,
Kyle.
What? Tim, can I jump in with one last question?
Yes.
Kyle, can you say a little bit about your new film? I think it's called It's Watching.
Yeah.
Say a few words about that.
Sure. Yeah. It's a very just standard, like straight up horror film, shot on a super low budget, even lower than ZombieCon. Frustrated filmmaker moves from Los Angeles to Atlanta and with his in-laws and pregnant wife. Really had to stretch the creative muscles here. I don't know if any of you know my story, but that's literally my story. And he ends up trying to unpack the house by himself. And in the, while doing that, he's like, I'm going to film one more film before I give this up. And things go terribly wrong. So that's like the short version.
Very cool. You have my curiosity piqued. So. All right. Well, Kyle, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining us and talking about ZombieCon tonight. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I hope I didn't bore anyone with some of the esoteric points in there.
No, I love the stories.